on people.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer.
Hold on. The vice president wants me to try to get people fired from their jobs? First off, as a white woman, we've been doing that for years, okay? Stop appropriating our culture. But secondly, is this what we want? The vice president's job isn't to lead an online mob. The vice president's job is to... Okay, he doesn't really have a job, but you get my point.
Now, baby, when I tell you Desi Lydic just bodied JD Vance on live TV, I mean she didn't come to play. She came with receipts, shade, and a side of righteous chaos. Picture this, JD sitting there smug, ready to drop his usual political sermon, when Desi leans in, all calm and classy, and boom, drops the kind of truth that makes studio lights flicker. The audience gasped, the cameraman paused, and JD's face went through every stage of denial known to man. 1 second, confident senator vibes. Next second, full-on deer in headlights. Honey, Desi didn't just expose him, she dismantled with style, sarcasm, and a smile that said, I warned you.
When the president travels overseas, it's important for them to project strength and dignity, although an uninvited insect made that a little harder for President Trump. Damn, girl, you got moves. What is this? Is he voguing? Ronnie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jordan couldn't be more wrong. JD Vance is a terrifying prospect.
Is it because of his views on women's rights?
Yeah, and also because he has a beard. I'm sorry, but I do not trust a man if I don't know where his...
See, Desi's the kind of woman who doesn't argue. She educates, and she does it with Emmy-level delivery. When she started reading JD like a teleprompter, people in the control room were whispering, is this happening? Oh, it was happening. She called out his hypocrisy, reminded the world of his political flip-flop faster than a TikTok trend, and turned his polished talking points into punchlines. The audience laughed because it was that sharp, that funny, that factual, but underneath the humor was pure truth. JD looked like a man realizing his mask had cracked live on national TV.
But he's a very tough negotiator. That's not good.
Remember, call your doctor if your handshake lasts longer than 4 hours. But this is such a stark difference from how every other leader on this trip has interacted with Trump. Malaysia's throwing a concert for him, Korea's giving him crowns, everyone's kissing his ass. Then she comes in like his mom forced him to have a play date with a weird kid.
By the third minute, Desi had turned the set into her personal TED Talk on accountability. She didn't just spill tea, she poured the whole pot, baby. She pulled out clips, quotes, timelines, every contradiction JD ever hoped we'd forget. And the best part? She did it without raising her voice once. JD tried to clap back, bless his heart, but it was giving weak Wi-Fi, laggy, disconnected, and completely unprepared. Desi kept her composure while he stumbled over excuses, proving once again that confidence without truth is just performance.
Talker, beards hide things. Blackheads, whiteheads, lack of chin, too much chin. And he's open about all of his horrific policies, so if that beard is hiding something, it must be really bad.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Beards do not hide anything.
Oh, really? Not even a Sharpie dick that never fully...
Now, what sent social media into meltdown mode was the dirty secret. Oh yes, Desi went there. She hinted at that backroom deal JD swore nobody knew about, the one involving donors, drama, and double talk. The studio audience froze like time stopped, and Twitter exploded. You could practically hear the collective gasp across America. JD's face said it all, like a man who just realized the Wi-Fi password of his political soul had been leaked. Desi's timing was perfection. The delivery, deadly. She didn't accuse, she implied, and that's what made it sting.
About how their greeting was. The bigger question was what happened at that meeting. Trump said that China has been eating America's lunch for decades, and this was his chance to seal a major trade deal that finally makes things right.
President Trump back on Air Force One after his meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping, where the leaders agreed to a tentative truce in the trade war. That brings tariffs and other measures back to where they were before recent escalations.
He's basically reset the clock to January.
As the clip spread, Desi's takedown became a cultural event. Late-night hosts were quoting her lines, political podcasts were dissecting her tone, and JD, he was trending for all the wrong reasons. He went from future of the party to meme of the week overnight. Desi, meanwhile, sat back with her coffee, unbothered, tweeting a single word, facts. That's when it hit everyone. This wasn't just comedy, this was commentary with claws. Desi wasn't roasting him, she was rewriting the narrative.
Desi back with another installment of Republican beauty trends. Y'all have been flooding my DMs to talk about JD Vance and his fierce eye makeup, so let's get into it. As a reminder, I am not a makeup expert or even someone who really regularly washes her face. Now, if we look closely, we can see that Vance has lined the inner corner of his eyes with a dark black. That could be to make his baby blues pop, or it could be to reflect the dark black part of his soul that hates.
And baby, JD's response made it worse. He held a press conference, all stiff and sweaty, claiming Desi was part of some media smear. Please, it was giving panic, not power. Every reporter in that room knew he was spiraling. He tried to laugh it off, but you could see it, those eyes darting, that nervous half smile. He wasn't defending his truth, he was managing his damage. Meanwhile, Desi dropped another clip that showed she wasn't exaggerating. At that point, JD didn't just lose the debate, he lost the plot.
You have no idea what you're announcing, do you? You're just gonna go into the next room and be like, guys, I promised them something big. Does anyone have anything good? I have 2 to 5 days, and don't say Jell-O shots, Pete. Next time, just come out when you're ready to say the announcement. We don't need a pre-announcement. This is worse than my cousin announcing that they're trying for a third.
Insiders say JD's team went into full crisis mode after that. They scrubbed social media, pulled quotes, called in PR experts. But once Desi's monologue hit YouTube, there was no going back. Her fans turned her words into sound bites, TikToks, remixes, you name it. The internet crowned her queen of the clapback. JD's reputation dragged down Main Street. Desi turned a talk show segment into a masterclass on political exposure, and she did it with the finesse of someone who knows power isn't loud, it's precise. Interview 8, what's wild is how Desi never broke a sweat through it all. Reporters tried to bait her into commenting, but she kept it classy. I just told the truth. That line alone became a movement. JD's allies scrambled to shift the narrative, but nothing could undo what was already public. Every interview he did afterward, people only wanted to talk about that night. Desi's takedown wasn't a moment, it was a mirror. It showed everyone what happens when confidence meets competence, and only one survives.
Trump's accidental dance moves are way more impressive than his intentional ones. Very weird. Anyway, I do understand why he was so frantic. That mosquito was also asking Trump about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, to be clear, Trump was not just wasting time playing golf. He was also wasting time.
Behind the scenes, word is JD called in some big favors, hoping to silence the story. But honey, you can't unspill tea once it's steeped. Every outlet from late-night TV to political blogs was amplifying Desi's words. She had done what few could, make truth trend. And what stung JD the most? Desi never once called him names. She let his actions speak, and the world listened. Her laughter wasn't cruel. It was cathartic, the kind that says, "We see you now." Interview 10. Meanwhile, Trump tried to step in, posting some half-baked defense online, calling Desi unfunny and biased. Oh please, that only gave the story more oxygen. Desi responded the only way she knows how, with a joke that landed harder than a campaign promise in shambles. Biased? She said. Only toward facts. That line alone lit up the timeline. The internet anointed her the new queen of political shade. JD, caught in the crossfire, could only watch as his mentor's defense backfired spectacularly.
Eyeliner is clearly an all-day wear from the Senate floor to CNN. So I'm gonna guess he's using either Maybelline Eye Stick in the shade Faux Hillbilly or Revlon Super Smudge in the shade Business Ewok. If I were Vance, I would actually recommend putting the liner under the waterline to create more of a doe-eyed look. But with this technique, he's serving more of an eye support mask.
By the weekend, JD's dirty secret wasn't just gossip, it was gospel. Late-night segments, parodies, think pieces, everyone had their spin. Desi had managed to do what no opponent could, expose the hollowness behind JD's brand. Her combination of humor and truth hit that sweet spot where people laugh and learn. JD tried one last interview to reclaim his image, but it felt like damage control from a man who realized too late that integrity isn't something you can PR your way out of.
The president capping off his trip by officially opening his latest golf course today in Scotland.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
reminder, this man is still the president of the United States. There's a lot going on in the world, and he's at a ribbon-cutting ceremony to promote his golf.
And that's when Desi dropped her mic moment. Literally. She ended her next show with a wink and said, if speaking the truth causes an eruption, maybe the fault line was already there. The audience went wild. JD somewhere was probably rewriting speeches and Googling how to recover from public annihilation. Desi didn't just win a debate. She won the cultural moment. She reminded everyone that in a world full of spin, a sharp woman with a sharper wit will always cut the noise. And
I just want to make sure, is it really good news?
It's going to be a truly earth-shattering and positive development for this country and for the people of this country.
Earth-shattering, wow. Okay, as long as I don't have to clean it up, I guess I'm in. Just tell me when exactly to tune in and I will clear my schedule.
And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave.
Time for President Trump to meet the moment with his famous deal-making skills and master negotiating to end this shutdown.
President Donald Trump currently on his way to Asia for a high-stakes tour of the region.
Okay. Government will be here when you get back, maybe. Boys trip.